as per usual, we begin as per usual. OBS finally wouldn't listen to my nonsense where I had refused to update it for a good long while. This reminds me I should go grab the GoPro because I'm like 3 software versions behind on that thing, and it's gonna start to get mad at me, or it's not gonna start working with the app. It's gonna do one of those things. So I turned this on about not even 10 minutes ago, as I do, and completely logged out of everything. It's logged out of Google. I have no YouTube ingest server. I don't notice it until there should be a button on the controls, which is right down about here on my screen, and it says start streaming, and then right next to that it says manage broadcast, and there's no manage broadcast button, and I'm like, oh no. So takes you about 5 minutes. It's a 2-factor, and then a 2-factor after that. You got to open your YouTube app. Sometimes you have to use Authenticator, and then it's going to send me an email, and it did. It's right there. Security alert. I've never seen this man before in my life, despite the fact logging in from the same IP on the same computer with the same software and the same. So, I mean, I understand how people get their identity stolen. They just set the same password for everything because they get burned out on having to reconfirm who they are every 45 minutes. Every time they accidentally update or log out of something. I was thinking mere moments ago, and yes, I do spend more time than one would expect not thinking. Man, it has been a rough couple of days. I have all of the trademarks, the hallmarks of the aged, which is lament. I'm filled with laments. I have been taking magnesium. The wife heard that magnesium will help you sleep. So I was like, I'll give that a try. And you know what? It does. It does help me sleep. So I've been taking magnesium for about 2 weeks, only to find out it's given me hives. Never had hives before. I'm remarkably itchy all the time, so I get to stop taking that. I will actively trade not sleeping through the night for not itching during the day. This is like the very worst possible werewolf scenario. Yeah, melatonin does nothing for me. I don't know why. So I was just taking Benadryls, because if you go to a store and you look at most of the sleep aids, anything that isn't melatonin is the active ingredient in Benadryl. So I was taking Benadryls. That will keep me asleep until about 4 a.m. Have I tried the milk of the poppy? I feel like that's the next step. That's the next logical step. I need some laudanum. Can we go back to the 1840s and get me some laudanum? Melatonin gives my wife wild, vivid dreams. Yeah, it does nothing to me. I might as well take Tic Tacs before bed rather than melatonin. Melatonin does nothing for my eldest either. It has no effect on him. So, in other news, I'm itchy. It's not great. Benadryl equals a residual hangover. Yeah, I definitely feel better not taking Benadryls. So I feel like NyQuil gives me hellish nightmares. So I'm just going to go back to not sleeping all the way through the night. That segues perfectly into lament number 2, which is, I had mentioned, beginning of the year, one of the New Year's resolutions was keep the whiteboard updated. I update the whiteboard. Oh, it doesn't matter how tired or awake I am. I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes I wake up at 2:11. Sometimes I wake up at just after 4, between 4 o'clock and 4:10. And then I will myself back to sleep for about an hour. So number 1 was keep the whiteboard updated. I've been doing really good at that. When I come in first thing in the morning, I check the whiteboard. When I do the stuff on the whiteboard, I mark that off. I slide everything up on the whiteboard. I try to stay at least, have I got 7 days on there? 7 days. Yeah, I try to stay 7 days out on the whiteboard. It keeps me organized and restrained, because otherwise I'll just go and start doing something else. I'll go and start doing something else, and then I'll get nothing of import done. So the other one was no snacks. No snacking. So we are 3 weeks into the year, plus minus a few. We're three, let's call it 3 weeks into the year. I haven't had a snack. I did eat a bag of baked Lay's on like Tuesday, but I forgot to eat lunch that day. So I feel like I was already in the negative. See, that was what happens. It's not on the whiteboard. So I forgot to eat lunch, so I had a bag of chips. So I didn't really consider it a snack. But no snacks. And you might say, well, have you increased other intakes? No. You'd be happy and or aghast to know that I eat the same thing for breakfast 7 days a week. I eat a breakfast sandwich with a cup of tea, and I treat myself once a week. Sunday morning, I have a Costco muffin along with my breakfast sandwich. I eat the same thing every day. Lunch is virtually the same thing. So my caloric intake has to have, based on the way science, math, and biology works, my caloric intake has decreased, probably conservatively, about 7,000 calories a week. So I am 20,000 calories deficient over 3 weeks, and I weigh to the ounce exactly the same as I did on the first of the year. I have not lost 1 ounce. Now, this is why people give up. In one way or another, this is how they give up. Yeah, I was eating an excess of at least 1,000 calories a day just in snacks. Like I was grazing snacks all day long. So I have breakfast, I have a lunch. My lunch is between 600 and 700 calories. I eat a dinner, which is under 1,000, which means I am between 2,200 and 2,400 calories a day, down from between 3,500 and 3,800 calories a day. I weigh the exact same amount today that I did 3 weeks ago. To the point, it is the number 0.6, and I am still the number 0.6. But the snacks were basically nothing but carbohydrates. It is just carbs, just nonstop carbs, and mostly sugar. So I feel better. I hate it that I feel better. I hate it because I've cut so much sugar out of my diet. And I think all this is that my body remembers. It just remembers. Because I had tortured myself for 7 years on the bike every day. And it changes you. Like, I would have to make such a gigantic change now. I'm not willing to do that. I'm going to see how good I can do on the no snacking. And you know, I average 50,000 steps a week. So it's not like I'm sitting on the sofa, man. I hate that I feel better. I do. Because they say, you know, cut sugar and give up this and you'll feel better. And then you do that and you do. It's like people ask my wife, it's like you're aging in reverse. How do you do it? And she goes, I have a ridiculously restricted diet and I go to the gym 5 days a week. There's no cheat code to do it, right? Like, she's lost weight and she's stronger and all that, right? But sometimes you don't want to go to the gym. Sometimes you just want a little bit of cheesecake, just a little piece of cheesecake. And it is this constant balance in life. And I feel like I'm probably preaching to a choir, but it is this constant balance between, okay, I'm doing what's better for my body, but God, existence is a toil. Like, if I can't have something nice to eat, why am I getting out of bed in the morning? And, we are 3 weeks into the year. Yeah, steady away. Oh, Mr. Greg, here's what happened with me with cycling. The more you do it, the more efficient you become. And then, like, I started off, kills me that some people have to punish themselves not being able to eat, and I guess my plumbing is just so good I don't need to worry. Yeah. So genetically skinny and genetically fat are absolutely things. So I would ride the bike as an excuse to eat, because I rode an average of 50 kilometers a day. I did at least 31 miles per day. Otherwise, I didn't consider it a ride. I did at least one metric century, at least one day of 100 kilometers, and at least 1 century a month, 100 miles, imperial miles per month. And after I did that for 6-7 years, what happened is I was just too efficient, because I started putting on weight despite the fact that I was riding 200 miles a week at least medium to sometimes high intensity. Oh, road all the way. If you were doing 200 miles a week on a mountain bike, you'd either be extremely fit or dead. One or the other. I used to see on Strava the guys with their mountain bike rides. They'd go out and they'd do a ride, and the out and back would be 8 miles, and they'd be gone for 90 minutes. Yeah, 90 minutes for me was 30 miles. So I can't go back to that. Every time I see bikes out on the road, I go, that guy's crazy. That guy is crazy. I've never been above 10 stone. Yeah, it's metabolism. Yeah, I am. I've been over 16 stone since probably the mid 90s. I know what I should probably weigh, and if the scale is accurate, I know what I do weigh, and they are not the same number. I was doing 1,000 km a month and was still on the heavy side. Yeah. The absolute lightest I got was 191 pounds. And my wife said at the time that I looked like a skeleton. And I had more than 1 month. My biggest month ever on the bike, I did 1,100 miles in 1 month, because I got a coffee mug. Trek had a Strava challenge where you got a coffee mug if you rode 1,000 miles in the month of July. So in Southern California, I rode 1,000 miles in the month of July. I work hardcore physical labor. It's almost impossible for me to put on weight. Give it time. Give it time. Your body, I'm more dead than alive. If you are past the age of 40, you are more dead than alive. So you need to ingest less and output more just to maintain your weight. You're just going to get, they say after the age of 40, if you make no changes to your diet or lifestyle, you'll gain a pound a year for the rest of your life. Isn't that fun? Isn't the human body fun? Shouldn't it be the other way around? Why can't they just let us Benjamin Button this thing? I have a question for all of you. Why can't I? Am I not logged in? Am I not logged in? I swear to God, it won't let me create a poll. Okay. I went through all the work to pre-type this. 46, still no sign of that weight gain. You could be one of the lucky ones that just stays skinny. And here's my best advice. Here's my best advice. Don't tell anyone that. Just keep it to yourself. Don't share that with other people. because I had hopes. My mom's dad never gained weight. Like he looked the same the entire time that he was alive during my lifetime. He always looked the same. And then my dad's dad, I'm turning into that shape. You find out what you're going to get later on. I've been 220 for decades. So was I. Yeah, I held 220 for a long time. I held 220 for probably 25 years. This is a question that I meant to pose last week and forgot. So, overweight and hives. It's a great day. 4 degrees, and we have to assume that's freedom units in Michigan. What's everyone else's temperature? I'm 60 degrees warmer than you inside the building. It's 64.4 in the workshop. Okay, somewhere. Okay, so if is it carrots? There's something that there's a character the chat doesn't like. What? It's doing it again. Okay. I have been trying to start a poll for I feel like 5 minutes now. Start a poll. It will not let me start this poll. As soon as I go to, am I not signed in? No, I am signed in. I wonder if the mic's picking up that. It sounds like a dogfight outside. Oh. Am I going like one character over? I'm like an old man that doesn't know how to use technology. Capra axles are narrow axles for the ugly body. Let me go grab that thing. Let me go grab that thing. Today I learned you can only put 35 characters in a poll question. 35 characters. Okay. All right. Ponder. I didn't actually have to go that far. I thought it was farther away. So this was a question that the blind guy had. Because I feel comfortable in pointing this out. I don't think that visual impairment counts. Like I don't think this is a free pass. We've got at least one. He admitted verbally, out loud, to putting on sock shoe. So while getting ready, I think it was last week. While getting ready to come out here, I tried it out myself. I put on a sock and then a shoe. So I have one fully dressed foot and then a bare foot. And then I put on sock shoe. And I was overwhelmed by this feeling of, what if something bad happens? Like, think of a scenario, right? That Wendigo finally comes. It's like it's coming through the door. It's trying to knock the door down. I feel like I would be more equipped with 2 bare feet than I would with 1 bare foot and 1 foot fully shod. I can't. Sock shoe is diabolical. It is sock, shoe. You put both socks on, and then you put both of your shoes on. I watched my ex put 2 socks on 1 foot while on the phone and struggle to find the other sock. That's a serial killer stress. That's like doing shirt before underwear. No one's out here Winnie the Poohing it. That's so good. So, the sputter crawler asked, maybe he knows something we don't. I could go on at length about things that the blind man, the peculiarities of the blind man. The blind man lives and operates by a theory that if you don't go to bed at night, the next day doesn't start until you fall asleep. Which is, that's as insane. That might be more insane than going sock shoe. He definitely doesn't see anything we don't. Yeah. Well, here's the thing about the sock shoe versus sock shoe. I keep my socks separately from my shoes. I don't know about anybody else, but my shoes live in a different place than my socks do. So what I like to do is sit down on the edge of the bed, pull the drawer open, take a pair of socks out, put the socks on. Then I walk over to where my shoes are in a little cubby right behind my desk, sit down in my chair, put my shoes on. Sock shoe is, if you could caught with 1 shoe, you can stand in the snow on 1 foot staying dry. I get told off if I go sock underpants. Apparently just socks is unacceptable. Sock shoe. Agreed. I asked my buddy, the guy who plays Borderlands with me, I asked him about sock shoe, and he said those people should be expelled, I believe is the word that he said. Should be, at the very least, put on a list. I have to wear 2 different sizes of socks, 13 for the left foot, 15 for the left and 13 for the right. That is crazy. Has the blind guy ever worked graveyard shift? Because my today is most people's tomorrow. No, ever since the brain tumor, his sleep schedule is crazy. He won't sleep for like 40 hours. It's weird. I saw Mr. Hurley earlier with the 5. Thanks for the 5. There's Mr. Turner keeping the lights on. He's hit a couple names that I've already seen in chat. ProRaptor, Hydrone, Jipper. Yeah, I've seen a lot of these names. Mr. Turner out again. Yeah, shoes before pants would be the next step up. I use 2 pairs of socks when you're on your feet all day. It prevents blisters. No, I would honestly say that having the right size shoes is what prevents blisters. And I say this as a person who definitely wore the wrong size shoes for about the first 35 years of his life. So this is the body that Sputtercrawler has in question. So if you're curious at all as to the size of it, It's a little bigger than the yoga block. It's not large. I don't know what we're gonna do with it. We're gonna build something. It's called the B pickup, version 1. It's got window masks. They are maybe, I don't know if it's conclusive, but these might be the worst cut window masks I've ever seen. I mean, what do you want for nothing? Yeah, sporty sized for sure. Yeah. I mean, I know he sent a picture of like the little, like they have the little arrows and diagrams. Oh, now we got 2 people at the with the loon, and Vegas Steve admitted to it. Put him on the list. You gonna build a rig that I might actually win this time? I don't know. Thoughts on an 80 turn with a stock Traxxas ESC as solid budget combo? You know, immediately following this stream is a video where I went through about 24 motors and I ran them all across the impromptu motor dyno to find out, like, no load wattage, amp draw, RPM, get like a KV kind of a number. Yeah, it should fit a UTB 18, great. And there are some really, really weak motors out there. There is definitely a point of diminishing returns in turn count. Yeah, the wheelbase on that is 260. So even UTB 18 would be a little long. Use that Hummer body. Oh, the Hummer body. That's not a bad idea, because that one's a bit more reasonable of a size. Why am I? Damn. What they like to do? Everyone likes to remain in their respective houses until I turn a camera on, and then they're tripping the ring cameras literally every 30 seconds. Movement. There's been movement popping up on my watch probably 40 times since this started. Yet it's he said Hummer body. Well, it's evocative of a Humvee. I mean, it's not an actual Humvee. If I can find it. Sorry, little guy. Oh, no! I put it in a bag. That was more difficult to find than I thought it would be. See, that's a little bigger. We can go somewhere with that. For some reason, I only do that with my work shoes. They're dress shoes, but I don't do that with my other shoes because I don't tie my shoes. I slip them on. I don't even think I own a pair of dress shoes. Most of my shoes are hideous. I have a couple decent looking pairs of shoes. The best pair of shoes I've bought in the past 2 years at least is I bought a pair of walking shoes, like an old person. Not trail run. I learned. You know what trail running shoes are? Specific HPI. What trail running shoes are specific. Don't wear those if you're not trail running. Walking shoes are great if you have to stand around all day. It's what I used to go to the last 2 anime things, and my shins weren't killing me at the end of the day. Just got a call from the shop my bike is at with a $2,200 quote. Nothing more expensive than a used motorcycle. Yeah, indeed. So what did I do? We'll just leave this guy. Give Susan a hat. I did the links. I got the shocks. The shocks were mostly done. Sakshu. That's the kind of savage who puts the teepee in towards the wall. See? I wear expensive work shoes, and I have to tie and keep them nice. Oh, no. No thanks. I have so many questions about what's going on over at Proline with the Comanche. You prepare yourself because you know you're going to have to cut a bunch of the fender off. Have you ever seen a Humvee? Well, yeah, well, it's this, that's a Humvee hood retention. Humvee's got that Humvee-ish grill. Yeah, I mean, it's not a Humvee, but like I said earlier, evocative, right? But it's not a Humvee. These fender wells, like, give me a scrambler. Like 90s? Like what are we supposed to be running on without cutting these out? Yeah, it's got Avalanche knockoff. If a Humvee and an Avalanche had a baby, you'd get something like this. I don't think you could cut this thing to class 2 unless you cut the flares all the way off. And with the flares all the way off, 7 inches wide, like 185, you're going to have the whole tire all the way on the outside. I figure I'm going to have to do, let's see. I am determinedly right-handed. I can't figure out how I want to cut this. Here we go. I'm also thinking about cutting the bumper off and running a front bumper just because I think it might look better. I don't know what to do with the tire. Still. It's 8%. 8% of 88 people do sock shoe. Put Jeep fender flares on the fender flares. We gotta keep the weight down. I'm gonna go halfway. We call it a commitment. I've watched those guys. Why does it always seem to be the Europeans? I've watched those guys that cut bodies out with razor knives. You know what? I can't do that. There we go. Once that's rounded off, we should be absolutely fine. We should be able to fit this today. And I should be able to slot this in to the filming schedule. If you tuck the tires flush with the fenders, will they not clear when turned? I don't know. We gotta mount it. I went through the process of making all of the links, and I think that what I did, because I was going off of my own desires, there is every possibility that I moved a skid. Yeah, score and snap, can't do it. See Europeans. Curved Lexan scissors. That's how I do, and clean it up with a Dremel. If you told me that the only way I'm going to cut this body out is score and snap, I would just have to buy a different body. Yeah, I've seen like videos of them doing it, and it is too late. Especially like on angles like this. It is too late for this old dog to learn that trick. I figure if I overcut these rears, it's probably fine. I'm going to have to trim them again to be sure. Like I got that dip right there where I dipped down too far. With a razor knife, you should try cutting it out with a butter knife. I think if you gave me a choice between Score and snap and cutting out with a corkscrew. I could probably get cleaner lines with a corkscrew. I make an effort. I do. I make an effort to leave as much body as possible. I don't like cutting bodies up. I just yesterday had to trim down the body that's on Victor, and I didn't like it. I didn't want to do it, but it was dragging Lexan across everything. Yeah, I've tried, like, I'm not saying I've never scored and snapped anything. I've just never done a body. I know that I can do the light pressure thing because I cut through the overspray mask to paint beds and fenders black, and if I pressed too hard, I'd be scoring the body and then it would snap. Even though I score and snap, I always finish off with a Dremel drum sander. Then that just seems dangerous. I've been using the scissors for too long. I can't go back from the scissors. So this is another body. And now that I'm thinking of it, this might be the first pro line that I can think of that is basically Class 1 specific. There's a handful of them from J Concepts. The pickups, no Lexan. Hard bodies require a Dremel. Oh, yeah. Oh, score and snap on ABS feels different. I've got scribers for that. I've been scoring and snapping ABS forever. When I say score and snap, I mean people scoring and snapping Lexan. I score and snap for rough cuts for sure. On an untrimmed body, that's how I'm starting every time. No, I go straight in with the scissors. It's Dubro all the way. Will that be cut out enough to be cleaned up? Like it's still got a hint. It's still got a hint of fender on it. I'm all right. Not having to trim bodies is a big reason why I like hard bodies. Yeah, I'm not going to disagree. So, I thought very short. We're up to 9%. 9 out of 100. That means almost 10% of people who have voted are lunatics. They probably go out in the yard and they howl at the moon on days when the moon is full, with one sock and one shoe on, and the other foot just bare. Does anyone move their mouth when cutting with scissors? Asking for a friend. See, there's another one that just outed himself. Now we know Last Creations is putting his shoes and socks on like a psychopath, right along with Vegas Steve, who tried to give a reasoned excuse as to why, like the dress shoe thing. I mean, I don't wear dress shoes, so maybe that's fine. But there's definitely some moon howlers out here howling at the moon with one shoe and one sock on. So I debated to myself after I built the links, and what I halfway mentioned earlier was I just wanted to scooch the front axle back so that we get a little cheat on skid. We're moving the skid a little bit forward by moving the rear axle back and the front axle back. It stands. The front shock is stood up pretty straight. I think we're probably about 15 millimeters. Like if I'd put this where I think it is supposed to be, the front axle would be 12 to 15 millimeters more forward, which means we'd be taking 12 off of these and putting 12 onto these. No, I'm sorry. Reverse that. We'd be taking 12 off of these and putting it on there. It would only be a differential of like 16 or 18 millimeters. As it is now, it's 45. Front lowers are 100. Rear lowers are 145. So the rear shocks are going to be laying down a good bit more. I do have 0.4 pound springs, and I hope that 0.4 is soft enough, because prior to beginning this, I tossed this thing, and just like this, I grabbed the electronics, which need finished. Like we've got to put the we've got to put the stuff on here. I tossed the electronics on top and weighed it as it sits right there, and it was 999 grams. Then I put the wheels and tires together. We're going to go with the $20 trials. I got these on Amazon on sale for $20. Jimbo with the 5, keeping the sawtooth well alive. And these have the aluminum beadlock rings in them for the rear. And then for the front, we just left the factory steel ring. And I noticed when they were sitting on the rack that there's 2 dirty ones and 2 clean ones. And that's how I can easily tell them apart. The clean ones go in the front. I feel better there are others in the loon category. Trucks of Friday. GOF, Trucks of Friday. What? Okay. Oh. How many poll options would I need? Have you seen the new retro vintage white trial wheels? Yes. Yes, I have. What is a loon? A loon is a type of bird, but in a colloquial use of speech, it's like it's someone, a kook, yeah. It's someone not challenged by societal norms. They're like, I'm going to go sock shoe. A part of the loony bin, yeah. I've been tempted. I don't know how to gift memberships on mobile, so here's a super. We'll take, yeah, short for a lunatic, yeah. I've been tempted to buy a 10.3 base camp kit and some Carbon 10 Pro chassis rails and doing a 1.5. Just got to get the wife to agree to another rig. You know, you know what you could do? You could tell her, you could be out with the boys smoking cigars and watching ladies take their clothes off. So I feel like this is pretty mild. Yeah, and I like the idea of lunacy. If you look up the origins of lunacy, where they actually thought that the moon made people go mad. How did the Origin Classic turn out? All it has left is paint. Sitting right down at the end of the bench, waiting for paint. And I am constantly debating over what color to paint it. Do I want to go two-tone? I don't know. Maybe. Oh, yeah. $199 for a builder's kit. Go for it. Absolutely. Go for it. And you can get carbon rails, I don't know what I'm telling you. I'm sure you already know. You can get carbon rails for $20. And it is definitely not nearly as loud as car audio shenanigans. That's true. You know what I didn't do? Camera 3. Okay. When I restarted the computer, I neglected to give authorization to the device plugged into the computer. So it looks like camera 3 is stone dead. It's got some juice in it. It's got a little bit of juice in it. Right. Do we have camera 3? Sort of. Do we have camera 3? Hey. It's not aiming where I want to aim it, but we can fix that for sure. Paint the Origin gold like many 60s cars. It's going to clash with my wheels. It is a bit cheaper than cycling, that's true. My wife is one to put socks on and then leggings and then more socks and then boots. Oh, well, women are either hot or cold. They are never, a woman has never been comfortable at whatever temperature she's at. She's either on the, it's like snow. At 31.9 degrees, it's not snowing. At 32 degrees, it is. And at 32.1, it's not snowing anymore either. And this is where the snowflakes are made. Women are like that 32 degrees. They're never at 32. They're either 31.9 or they're 32.1. They're either hot or cold. The origin body looks metallic orange with a black or gunmetal roof. I can't do it. I can't do it gold. My wife's a therapist. It's pretty hard to ask for forgiveness. That's rough. Max Flex, clay brown, and white. I don't know if I want to go that dark. I was looking up pictures of some scouts, and I saw this, like, you got brown over here, and you got tan over here, and you got something kind of in the middle, like a dark sand. I kind of liked that color. Do this origin as the new non-patinaed GFO. Oh, so purple and, I saw wheels. I bought, This'll help. This'll help. The camera in my carport has been tripped at least 30 times since this stream started. So this is my combo. So this is what I'm going with. I was leaning towards just white. But if I make it just white, then what color do I just do it all white? I know they did a lot of years where they didn't do the roof a different color. As soon as I saw them, I was like, this is what I'm going with. They look fantastic with that body. And I already have a silver set of these. I'd never bought the copper ones before. Another camera trip. That's what that was. I couldn't tell. It looked like you were wearing like part of a backpack. And it's you. I've been complaining on here. It's just constant camera trips. The camera's been tripped 30 times.
You can snooze it for like an hour.
That's true. That's fair. That's on me. That's true. I wasn't even thinking of that. Put the 41 odd 11 body on the origins just to anger the mobs. Yeah.
I put this on the twin, by the way.
That's the color we... Could they walk?
Walkies? Yeah, they said it was like wearing a pregnancy
simulator.
Hello, all.
Yeah, he says, everyone sit up straight and shut up. Mrs. C is here.
Oh, Mrs. C's getting back to work. I just finished my lunch.
Copy the colorway of the Red Cat Ascent 18 Scout. Red and white? I'm not crazy about red and white. Unless it's, I think Christmas theme. Green and white. I feel almost guilty about green and white because I keep painting everything green. Green and white would look good. And y'all know me, man. I have like 5 different greens. Medium blue. Red and blue. We can't put anything in the driver's seat until Vanquish gives us an interior. We're waiting on them. Let's see. Let's see how bad of an idea this is. Let's see how badly this goes. Because I can't hold things in the correct position. Will the Phoenix interior fit? No. Phoenix interior is a cab. And the Origin's is a guy. Maybe a pearl white body with copper bronze trials. First gen Scout, maybe butterscotch with an ivory roof. See, that's kind of what I was going for. I think butterscotch is a fairly good explanation of the color that they used to paint them. Let's see how badly this goes. Never mind, I forgot to turn the soldering iron on. I got everything ready. Paint a white spoon, Max Flex Clay Brown, and see how orange it is. My wife got there's a white plastic spoon in the kitchen. I might have to try that. Because I have to admit, I don't hate. Where is it at? Where's it at? I'm looking for a big plastic envelope full of Vanquish stickers. There they are. I don't hate the included graphics. I mean, I'm not going all the way to like Vanquish products. That's a little too far. But I'm not mad about these. That was why the body on the box is white. But not like I don't know. I've been looking at it for a couple days now. And I'm no closer to a determination than I was when I started. I feel like I'm going to fall to an inevitable default to Vanquish products. What's the truck on the bench? Trucks of Friday. That is the chassis rails from a VRD Carbon. Element factory team axles from a Gatekeeper kit. A knockoff ultralight gearbox with a Revit 1850 kV outrunner. Element drive shafts, an array of links. We do not have two pairs of links from the same manufacturer. We've got Element uppers. Nope, those are not Element uppers. We have Element lowers, Vanquish uppers, Element factory team tie rod. These are Samex for MST, and these are TRX4 from a Defender. And it's 1,000 grams as it sits right there. So we'll get a closer picture / idea of what it's going to come out to once the pieces are on it. Doesn't Tamiya already have a copper already? They do. But never try to color match. Copper with that? I don't know. This is very bronzy. Maybe there was a body here that was Tamiya copper. I'm drawing a blank. Ooh, you know what color I might have? Huh? Little burgundy action? Little burgundy action? Somebody just mentioned light gray. I do have that, which comes out. This is the color that I painted the Lloyd. So as you can tell, it comes out darker than the cap. But then I also have Spastic's Anvil Gray, that's about the color this comes out when you shoot it. Yeah, see, burgundy and light gray would be nice if I knew, like, if these colors came out exactly like this, maybe. And this is it's medium gray and burgundy. 109 and 110. Did we just pick it? Did we just pick the colors? I feel like a full white roof would be too white. I don't know if I have any base coats. All I have right now is about a half a can of gold pearl, translucent gold pearl. Translucent gold pearl under the burgundy? What else have I got? Is this too off-white? Like, is that too tan? Yeah, there's the old school. That's Pactra copper. I have a full can of Tamiya gold. Can't use gold for anything. I do have two both almost finished cans of metallic purple. Yeah, I have so few cans that aren't partly done. The tan has a vintage Toyota feel to it. Yeah, like, I could go tan top, burgundy sides, and copper wheels. Yeah. I don't know. Do we think burgundy gray or, well, let's do it this way. Burgundy gray or burgundy tan? I'm leaning towards the tan a little bit. The other tan that I have is darker. It's the tan that, well, I can show. We'll know. We'll know. Yeah, I think it's the tan. I think the gray will come out too dark. Like, I mean, it's basically the exact same color as the can. Gray and yellow. Ah! I think we're gonna go tan. I think we're going tan. This guy, out of service right now. Out of service. I think I forgot. I had honestly forgotten about the burgundy. If anyone's curious, the Max Flex yellow is extremely yellow, like aggressively yellow. I'm really low on spastics, probably because I haven't been to the hobby town in like probably close to a year since I've been to hobby town. I used AI to visualize my paint job for me before choosing. I like to find out and regret. I like to be like, well, we didn't choose wisely there, did we? Computer's telling me what to do. Let's see if this is gonna go easy on us. I have to remind myself, how many years have I been soldering? I don't know. What do I have to constantly remind myself? It's not the pressure, it's the heat. You need a little more? Need a little more? A little bit more? Come on. I've gotten to the point where I've just stopped keeping the leads with the bullets on them because I don't have any more room. Yeah, second one always easier. Gotta flow that heat. You gonna come off easy for me? No. There we go. Ooh, that was fun. Little glob of solder flew over that way and landed on the sponge and made a little sound. That was cool. That was cool if that's what you're into. So, we're probably going to put this guy right about cheers. So I'm just going to cut off. Yeah, probably like that. I'm incapable of commitment. Even though it's not like the motors cost a fortune. I can never bring myself to cut a huge amount of of wires off because, you know, you can't cut them back on. Since you have the camel paint jobs, what about a Marlboro red and white paint job? Interesting. I think it's going to be burgundy and tan. I feel like he's a classy gentleman. What did the man say? I have to name it. What did I miss? No. The truck's name is Baxter. How did that pass YouTube? And always do take into consideration, as we must, it's got to be done in an hour. The 1 hour paint job is the method of operation here. Does anybody need some leads with bullets? Otherwise they're gonna get circular filed. Strip Master! 16 action. Not too much. Luxurious. We're feeling glamorous. We're stripping with the Strip Master. I'd lost my original Strip Master, and I missed it so much. I saw it at the Lowe's, and I was like, Strip Master, come to me. I just did my first paint job, and it doesn't suck. There you go. Next thing, fast forward many moons, and you're going to get to the point where if I can't do it in an hour, I don't want to do it. I don't want to have to do multiple levels of masking. I don't want to have to participate in shenanigans. And if you haven't done a full patina yet, or if not full patina, just painting it on the outside, you got to get on board, man. It's so good. For some reason, I don't know what it is about the Classic. When I do patinas, it's because they feel... Oh, you meant patina. They feel like a body feels patina to me. For some reason, this one doesn't. And I guess the reason that it doesn't is because the other Origin full cab here is patinaed. We would tease the shit out of people that came on a job site with those strippers from an electrician standpoint. Yeah, because an electrician is just a pixie plumber. That's all you are. You're just plumbing pixies. And you guys are using these. How beat to death are these? How long have I been using these? Long time. You know what I grab if I need to go wire on something in the house? Ideal 45s, baby. You know how many of these I've blown up by stripping live wires? Too many to count. But if you're stripping speaker wires, it's got a slot for 2022 gauge. I wouldn't take them out in the field with me. That's for damn sure. But horses for courses. I don't like speed strippers. I don't like them. I would rather thumbnail them. Like, I don't know how big of a wire. I'm getting old. I don't know how big of a wire can I still thumbnail. There you go. Yeah, have you ever done car audio before? I have. I completely forgot to switch the camera over as I desoldered and tinned the wires. Oh, this is a 50-50. Are y'all ready to 50-50? The one in the middle needs to be the one in the middle. And after that, Nothing else matters. Because we're going to get it. We got a 50-50 chance. Yeah, most of the time, like, if I'm going to strip Romex, give me whatever, dude. I'll just strip them with my... What are we allowed to call these? What are we allowed to call these nowadays? Again, more Kleins. What, IC 2000s? Last forever. What do we call these now? I know what we called them forever. Since I bought those in the night, diagonal cutters. Ugh, I don't like that. I just remember what we used to call them. Oh, I'm glad I didn't move the camera. That solder looks terrible. Yeah. Subaru drivers. Yeah. Pretty much. No. I don't accept snips. Where are they at? I think I put them all away because I don't use them anymore. I don't have to fabricate things anymore. There they are. Where I come from, these are snips. The straight ones. Like these are right hand, but these were always snips to me. Like flush cutters. Vice Grip Garage calls a hammer a Tanya Harding. Yeah. Different worlds indeed. Okay, I'm playing the 50-50 game here, where we're direct soldering. And we're going to find out what side of the 50-50 we land on, because we got a 50% chance it's going to rotate the correct direction. We got a 50% chance it's going to rotate backwards. And, again, blissfully, I'll describe it to you instead of, doing this. I did it reverse. I generally make an effort to solder the wire that's the furthest away from me first. And instead, I soldered the wire that's closest to me first. So now I got to try to get in here and burn the hell out of myself. It's okay. I'll deserve it. That's terrible. That's horrible. Doesn't matter. Maybe if the joint is horrible, the universe will make it so that I soldered it backwards, and I've got to resolder it. I just unclipped it because I need to solder on a JST. We got to. Somewhere in a factory. Somewhere in a factory. Oh, we used to call them wire cutters. These right here in their lives have probably honestly not cut that much wire. I use these to cut nails. That's what those are for. No, I didn't cold joint it. I did that thing where you pull away that tendril of solder because I did the opposite. I overheated it. It's not too bad. It didn't really heat up. Somewhere in a factory, far and away, they're paying someone, presumably hourly or by the day, or at least they get to eat, to put heat shrink on under the little nifty cover piece on an XT60, which is some real belt and suspenders stuff. I got my Hobbywing 1800, new wheels and tires, but no Coyote. A-Main totally effed up with shipping twice. That sounds right. If the connection is perfect, I soldered the wrong... Yeah, yeah. I have gotten... So, like, right now, I'm going to solder that end of that JST down onto here. And if I get it absolutely flawless, and it lays down, and it'll clear the plug and everything, I will have neglected to route the wire through the plug, so I'll have to desolder it and do it again. That is the... Did you see me getting real haphazard with this guy? And that's a brand new one. Sad to report, during the stream of last week, so I was talked into it. We've got the transition through time, the 1990s, the 2020s. It is still X-Acto X Life. It is still the blue ones. X-Acto X Life at this time was owned and distributed by Elmer's Products Incorporated. Oh, 2010. It's much newer than I thought. Echo and USA. Echo and USA. Those days are gone. Now distributed by Newell Office Products, Atlanta, Georgia. Fabrique and Chine. It's a shame. It's a shame. So I should, at least for posterity, there's 3 blue ones left in here, and I should put one of these aside because no longer will we see the blade that says USA on it. X-Acto 11 USA. Shame on us. Shame on us, one and all. And they come in the old paper. Yeah. So the first package, yeah, I would say probably about 15 years. I would have said I bought the first one in the late 90s, 97, 98, somewhere in there. Probably got me through till 2010, 2011, and then got about another 15 years out of the second one. So this should get me to, I mean, I'll change them more often because I have 200, but should get me to about 2040, and then I'll be dead before I run out of these. That's a healthy way to look at it. Said no one ever. That right thumb's hangnail needs to off. Oh, no, we got a better solution for that. They say don't pull on them. Snip them off. All fixed. Yeah. And I haven't worked on concrete or mortar, and I've got it. Hannah, Montana needs fixing real bad. The squirrels are killing Hannah, Montana. I'm going to have to address that. What if we... Oh, I like that. No, but then you got to run like that. No, you got to go like this. Yeah, that's fine. It's absolutely fine. It's legit. And we need a really short, because we're going to have this guy. I don't know if it actually does anything. Zener diode, but we will Zener diode. Hangnails hurt when they're on the bowling fingers. Yeah. Yeah, they do. We're going to go stubs. I'm not going to go full-blown minimize the wires, but I have enough JSTs to last me quite some time. Too long. See how good of a job I... What? Here's something. Okay. You want to know something that is genuinely surprising to me? Is us getting all of these electronics coming out of the Far East, and they actually use lead-free solder on them. Like, or at least low lead solder. You'd think they'd be like, what do we care? Just let it up. Just did the same thing where I soldered the near wire and didn't touch the far wire. That just flows better. Hey, what's going on? Welcome aboard. Trucks of Friday. Trucks of Friday. I'm gonna have to pencil. We can't use pencil it in anymore. I'm gonna have to dry erase it in. I'm gonna have to put it on the board. I'm gonna have to put it on the board. Yeah, temp up, which is why I tend to solder everything with the soldering iron just cranked, because unless I did all the soldering on it, I have no idea what the content of it is going to be. I'm going to make a determined effort right now to feed the wires through the snappy cover. Is there a chance, do you think, that you could make it move? Oh. Oh, too fancy. Hold on, I'm trying to get my OmniFixo oriented here. There we go. Whoop. That's partly in frame. That. Grab one of these. Snake this around. Boy, wouldn't this be easier if you didn't have to do it all like attached to a vehicle? Yeah, it probably would. What must that be like? I don't know. I don't know at all. And then, oddly enough, as one might expect, the camera is kind of like right where I want my head to be. So we've got to operate from a medium distance. Ooh, that was close, right? I came really close. Did I come as close to my knuckle as I felt like I did? I felt the wave of heat. I tried to stick the clamp onto the front upper links, but they are not steel. They have no magnet. I think they're titanium. And I did say Vanquish, so they're probably titanium from the Vanquish. It's a fair bet. Did I leave myself? I think I did. I haven't burned myself yet today, so I feel like I'm too far ahead of the curve. Plop it up. Did I go through? Yes. What is our boggle here? This is great. I'm gonna get a knuckle this time for sure. Come on, guy. See that? I think I just got a little. I think I just Leidenfrost affected myself. I felt it touch me, but it didn't burn me. So, anybody who ever questions whether or not they should get an OmniFixo, don't question it. I'd buy it again. If I had any reason to, I'd buy it again. You don't need more than one, obviously. And red to red, black to black. Cannot complain about that. That goes in there. We're going to, you know what we're going to do? We're going to figure these wires out at a later date. What are we working on today? Trucks of Friday. TOF. Yep, Trucks of Friday VRD-esque. Do the Mias Gold chassis kits work with AR45P? Yeah, they'll work with whatever you want. Like, we've done Gold Rush on Mias nylons, F10s. An F10 straight and an AR45 straight are basically the same. AR45P is just a worse version of an F10 portal. Yeah, absolutely no reason that it shouldn't. I'm in the southern woods of Mississippi, sitting in the stand, hunting for some whitetail, getting close to the end of the season. Is it cold? Is it cold? I bet it's cold. Is it cold? I don't like that. I don't like cold. You know what? No, let's put shocks on it. Let's put shocks on it. Then we'll make it make noise. I believe I put green band on all the way around, which might be too too soft for the rear. We'll find out. And it might be too firm for the front because it looks like the rears are laying all the way down. Although, if we go, maybe not. You know what? Maybe okay. Maybe it's all right. Will we get a body on it? It's early yet. So many different things could happen. Not yet. 68. Gonna drop to 20, and that rain will turn into ice. Yeah. It costs a fortune, but I'm gonna stay here. It's one of the exchanges. It's one of the non-tacit exchanges we make, which is we pay a fortune for everything, but it's nice. Are those Mias chassis rails? No, these are VRD carbon. The Mias are very easy to identify because they have gold flake. They'd be all sparkly. The geometry is not. We have a high of -5 today, not including wind chill. Pass. Nope. If it were for a combination or for a singular reason, if it was -5 here, there would be just deaths, widespread deaths. We are absolutely not built for it. Love the interiors. My rig is 7 pounds. Should I go green or blue? I would say blue. Silicones do season in. Blue will be a little over firm. This is not an Endura. This is what I call the non-Enduras Famandas. And Endura Blue will be about this same amount of deflection. It wants 7+ pounds. Blues are the way to go because if they're a little over firm, you drive them for a little while. And if they still feel a little over firm, you can snip some ribs. How did more people vote on sock shoe than have liked the video? I don't know. I don't have an answer to that. Chassis and tires were delivered. I might have to, oh! Ha ha. I'm going to do all caps. I texted the kid. I'm liking the Mias straights in the new build. Now I can cut out some aluminum chassis. I made a chassis out of wood to see if geometry would work. It was -21 this morning. That's crazy. Yeah, if I were smart, if I was smart, I would prototype things like rails. Instead, I just make the rails multiple times. Oh, we have to see how's this thing working? Okay, that's crazy. Mo Trapper way out in front on the XP. I never even remember the XP thing. But he's got like 1100. All the other ones say 150. I still don't understand how it works. I watched the video on it, to satisfy my own curiosity. And I came out of it feeling like I didn't know any more than I had. That's it?
Yeah. Was there supposed to be more?
I don't know.
Why would I know? They're your packages.
See what I have to deal with.
Oh no.
Chased him with the scissors. Mid solder unbagging. Guess what's in this bag? feels weird. It feels like the kind of stuff we don't use for packaging here. So thin. Now there are some tiny tires. That is some tiny tires. And the best part is when they just go absolutely ape with the tape. Yeah. It's so good. It's so good. These are trailer tires, yo. And it makes sense to me what was lost in translation. Camel Spirit AT all-terrain tire. Maua and Cheon .bf KM11 M plus S climbing car at all-terrain tires, taking into account various terrains. The tires are made of Taiwan rubber, which is tougher and more elastic. But that's not the best part. There you go, everybody. That's right, D1RC bringing you the Lizard Fetus AT. Good old Lizard Fetus. And look at that. Those aren't skinny at all. You know what those are? I'll tell you exactly what those are. If I can find the drawer they're in. So, I mean, obviously, the tread is different enough, but like scale-wise, they just boom raced it. They just copied boom racing. Because what does boom racing call them? Gecko something. Yeah, these would be fantastic trailer tires. Look at that guy. That might be the smallest single stage foam I've ever seen. Sticky? Thick, too. 95 by 26 is what they claim. No. Yeah. Truth in advertising. That tire is exactly 26 millimeters wide. There we go. They're stinky. They're stinky. They smell like rubber, but they smell like at least one person in the factory was smoking a filterless cigarette. They definitely give you that hint. And if you want to know the real difference between the insert that comes with your Lizard Fetus. Also, if I have to take one point off, it's that they didn't put a space or didn't know to put a space between fetus and AT. So it's actually D1RC Lizard Fetusat. Fetusit. The good old Lizard Fetusit. Do you like the design performance of Injora or Mias inserts better? I cannot say that in the amount that I've used either that I would draw a distinction between either one. I thought that using that like what I would call hemispherical design of the ribs versus just a straight radial rib, I thought that I would probably prefer the Mias, but to be completely honest, in operation they are indistinguishable. If you robbed someone and swapped their inserts around, they would genuinely never know. Now inside the Boom Racing, they go a little more in depth. Feels like kind of nerfy. Kind of nerfy. Lizard fetus tires, the ugly bug body, and Capra axles. That's crazy. That is crazy. They would be the simulation. Welcome to the simulation. That combination would be like that wide. I don't know. Maybe it's not that crazy. But also 260 millimeter wheelbase. Could you get a Stealth X in an FMS FJ40? If you want to cut a giant hole in the floor, yes. But as it sits, I would say no. Unless you used a single output. If you mounted the Stealth X all the way in the front under the hood and just had a single output coming out of it going to a transfer case, then yes, you could get a Stealth X in there. You could even mount it like probably sideways with like the motor on the bottom. I only have the metal one here, but you could mount it. No, you'd want to mount it like that, with the motor right on top, pointing to the back, and then make a plate and mount it to the side, and then just have that output going back to a transfer case. I wish I had thought of that. I need to share one thing with you before we unbox that chassis and I get back to putting shocks on. Wait, no. Let me put this screw in. I was eyeballing the Loud X, which is what is sitting there on the bench, and thinking about what they hath wrought. This is the all metal Stealth X. All metal. All metal. And when I say all metal, ladies and gentlemen, take out the clearly ungraded hardware. You remove this gear cover, which they machined this. They machined this for no reason. There's a ledge. There's a ledge inside where the lip of the motor plate sits. You can see, if I can get it in the light just right, you can see the fly cutter marks. There you go. Why would you ever do this? Why would you ever do this? You know for a fact there is not a speck of oil or grease in this. Like it. I have to say it, right? I have to say thanks for the 5, right? But every time I even read it, do I need an Australian accent? Because God, do they love that word. They love it. Thank you so much for the 5. Way to go, question mark. Thank you. Oh, yes. I will refer to him as they would refer to his father. Thank you, Mr. Face, for the 5. The bundle of consonants, an AliExpress and Amazon staple. We'll see what manner Kunt. Yay! Da, 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 da. I have seen machined gear covers before, but I have never seen a machined. Look at the fitment of the edge of the case around the motor plate. I've never seen a machined cover fit like this one. It has. That's the shaft inside moving. There is no movement. Also, I pulled this nut off. Oh, it is. No, it is a stealth. It's the Loud X. It's a Stealth X. It's got the two. It's got 18% inside on the whole thing, but every single gear is metal. The spur gear weighs 2 ounces. And you see these plates, little coney-shaped plates. No springs, no wave washers, nothing. It is just 2 aluminum discs clamped against a machined steel spur gear. So the slipper action, man, I'd love to lock one of these things up and hear what it sounds like. The transmission weighs 11.5 ounces, 3/4 of a pound without a motor in it. I don't know. I think that makes me look forward to it more. Whoop, 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 whoop. Oh, yeah. Element shocks. Pretty nice. Yeah. The question mark is, are those fronts going to act over firm? Now, they're on 0.7s, I think. We can go to 0.4s if need be. Oh, look at this guy. I feel like I've seen this one before. Have I seen this one before? Or is it just Googling things like gearboxes and transmissions? Or when I do the search for crawler chassis. Got the little, was that Nod 2 baby, or is that the ultralight? I think this is the ultralight clone, not the skeletonized ultralight clone. That is basically that, but with a full casing on it. Xerox. Oh, it's Xerox. Yep, I would have gotten there when I saw those. So I've built it. Yep. Oh, look how little they are now. They were bigger before. Carbon fiber spacers. Hate. Yep, there's that wacky skid. Last bit, bundle of screws. And they're graded. Graded screws. We're going to build something. We're going to build something, yeah, that weird, like a prow like a ship. Yeah, it used to be bigger. It used to be bigger. It was bigger once. Good old AliExpress. I feel like, have I forgotten that much already? A copy of a copy of a copy. He got this. This is directly from AliExpress. This is an AliExpress special. RC Performance LCG chassis kit with brace rock sliders Delrin skid plate for 1/10 RC crawler comp rigs SCX10 Capra hashtag colored chassis kit B. Shenzhen Huanhai Tongda Technology Corporation Limited. And then it has an address for Who Crawler. Good old Who Crawler. Which is probably the what, importer? So they're responsible for bringing it to us. Sorry if I missed it. What is the body? Which body? This tiny little body? The Santazi VW. What did it call it? Bug B pickup. The V1B pickup by Santazi, which I'm assuming is available at all of your low-cost sellers worldwide. Yeah, we should clear. Should be fine. Should be fine. I'm not ruling out shock keys. I would prefer not. But if I gotta, I gotta. We're gonna find out. Presumably together. And we went all in. We're going all in. This is all Delrin hollow balls throughout. Save for 2. I didn't catch the 2 that are on the tie rod. I can replace those later. It might seem insignificant. It probably is in the grandest scheme of things. But I will tell you, from when I built Rainbird, switching to all Delrin hollow balls saves about an ounce on a full vehicle. The Delrin hollow balls are about 1/5 the weight of the steel ones. Do I recommend it? No. You have to be very careful when tightening them down or they'll crush them. Just finished my 1.5 build. Might have to have photos tomorrow. Not sure I will keep the Phoenix shocks. If you have the new seals, the orange seals, then the Phoenix shocks are fine. If you don't have the new seals, then they're going to barf all their guts out in reasonably short order. The SAD is a great shock now. As soon as I feel any resistance at all, I got to stop driving so I don't crush it. Looks like the size bodies are made for the TTO2. Could be. Could be. It's a novelty, to be sure. Okay, we're going to find out how we're sitting. We're going to find out how the body is sitting. We're going to get that servo centered, or do our best approximation of centering the servo. I feel like that went on right. Yeah. No, that's great. That's great. Yeah, we got a little bit more compression in the rear, as one would anticipate. If I keep all the wires out of the way, we got nothing. We got nothing coming near anything. It's really going to be about static, seeing where this thing sits at ride height. It definitely looks like there's enough room up front to do Bow SOA, which is great. I would prefer battery on servo and axle. And because of the weight of this gentleman, he's going to be an 850 man all the way. 850, no problem. Yeah, no problem. Or, I don't know. We'll find. You know what? We're going to find out. I need to rebuild base camp shocks. Lasted 3 outings. Never done shocks before. Over there, because I saw that you mentioned Spain, if I remember correctly. If you can obtain the seal kits for Racing Desert Lizards, those will stop your axial shocks from leaking. Just remove the seals, replace them with the Desert Lizard seals, fill them with oil, and you're good to go. I haven't found yet another seal that basically replicates the size and oil holding ability of the racing. Question for the Class 2 comp people: is battery on servo and axle legal? Come on, comp people. Where's the man from Oklahoma? He would know this. I haven't really built a crawler rig, mainly trail rigs. What do you think of the Mias Gold Rush kit as a start out? Great. I would honestly say the Gold Rush, either V1 or V2, doesn't really matter. The changes are so minor. Think of it as a mid-year model upgrade. Pair it with Mias nylon portals, which will give you plenty of gear reduction, which will give you a lot more room of motor choice, and build it 100% servo and axle. If you've never built a crawler before, I would not recommend just diving right into chassis mounted steering. Servo and axle is just easier. I think they are old ones, use them because they were lying around. Yeah, it'll have the clear seals, and the clear seals are not bueno. Happy Friday, Mr. Steffi. Is okay. I saw somebody recolored one of those images of the storm, and they made it pink, so it looked like a big dangus attacking the middle of the country. Behind the axle is not allowed in Class 2. No, he's not asking behind the axle. In Class 2, You can have servo and axle now, right? Is this legal? Can you do that? That's what he's asking. Can you put the battery on the servo? Or does the battery have to be on the chassis? Because he's basically asking, can you unspring your battery? I would like to know that as well. Not that I am competitive, nor would I ever participate in competition, but I am curious. Recycled radio, freshly reset. Because we got to center some things. We didn't get the B-dupe because we're not Oh. Well, yeah, let's do ID seed. Let's do ID seed. Hands clear. Hey. Sometimes, every once in a while, sometimes I forget how fast the SA-75 is. It's pretty fast, though. Corduroy guy asks, I sent you $30 in PayPal a couple of minutes. I didn't hear back from your email. What? Okay, hold on. I'm going to get, Corduroy guy, I'm going to answer you. Sanctus, what did you send me $30 for? That would be the first question. Was it for something specific? I don't remember. I had, as one would expect, a couple weeks back. Like when I did the tires? Probably when I did the tires, right? So like 2 live streams ago? I don't remember what that was for. Maybe I missed it. What is ID seed? So a radio link, the RC4 and the RC6 can both do what's called ID seed. This is ID 01. And basically what that does is it makes a discrete and distinct connection between this model program and that receiver. So no matter how many other radios I turn on, no matter how many other receivers I turn on, this one is paired to that one. Not just paired, but like they have an actual channel. So there's like a little code down at the bottom, 001103A2. That number is only between this channel, this model, and that receiver. Now, you can bypass that by laziness, inattention, and or stupidity, which is forget that you've already programmed to ID seed ID01 and then pair another receiver to ID01. Not that I've ever done that, but I've totally done that. But it wasn't 1, it was 9. Now this is... Let's see what happens. Basically, I'm going to see if I can get away with not soldering. It feels exactly the same. It was for tires. Oh, yeah. Send me another email and tell me what tires it was for. Because there were a couple of them in there that were... Everybody wanted those. I still have, there's 3 or 4 sets of tires still here. So maybe I put them aside for you and never shipped them. That's a possibility. Yeah, this thing, I've been doing it wrong all along, I think. So far as I know, correct me, this thing auto-calibrates when you power it up. That's what it's doing when it's going through the tones. So you don't actually have to calibrate it to the trigger. I just reversed the throttle channel, and now it rotates in the correct direction. I think all this time, I don't think I needed to be reversing the wires. I don't think it matters. Might just get another set of desert lizards. I like them on the Phoenix and the Orange Field. That's what a lot of people do. Yeah. Escape 32 auto calibrates on startup. So it really doesn't matter. If it's rotating in the opposite direction, you just reverse it. Let's see. Yeah, it feels exactly the same. Forwarded or reversed it feels exactly the same. All right, let's unplug this real quick. This is where I wish I just had a nice... Too heavy. I was going to say, just get an element receiver box and just shove everything inside the box. Ooh! Damn it. Wait. No, we got it. We got it. Nobody caught me. That sounded horrible. Well, I was just pinning it. Gotta put that back on. I totally haven't burned out a BEC by not putting this sleeve on and then zip tying the receiver, the naked receiver, right up against it, and it bridged a contact here on the back and burned out the BEC. You have to check and make sure it goes faster and forwards, and you're good to go. That would be a question I have, and I don't claim to know everything about these, but are they 70-30 throttle or are they 50-50 throttle? I know on some it's adjustable. Like the Airtronics, you can adjust whether it's 70-30 or 50-50. But I think this radio is just 50-50. I've started changing out my rhinos for Secures. Yeah, for the programmability. Yeah, Slash Raptor says 50-50, so it doesn't matter. The radio and the ESC are indifferent as to what's forward and what's reverse. They can't tell the difference. You need to have a go to multi-filament receiver box so you can poop out on demand with your Snapmaker. I know. I need to get the print turn to work on this. If it does reverse direction in Escape 32 settings, it does. It does. Should I just do that? Okay, I have to heat sink this. Okay, should I put it on the dongle, of which I have like 20, and reverse the motor direction in the software? Will that make any difference in your experience? If you have experience, will reversing the channel here provide any different end result from reversing it in the Wi-Fi software? Only time it matters is if you lower reverse in Escape 32 settings. There you go. Wait, hold on. Rewind. You can lower the amount of reverse in Escape 32? How have I never noticed that? I've just been training myself to operate 100% reverse like a psychopath. Because on anything else, I basically never go past 75% reverse. If you change Escape 32 settings to lower reverse to 75 and change on the controller, it can be wrong. I don't do this secure on my phone. I had to do mine on the laptop. You know what? I was like, why is this wire hot? Sometimes. I don't know. Maybe because you just pointed a heat gun at it for like 30 seconds. Maybe that... I'm not going to say that that's it for sure. But I'm going to say that probably had something to do with it. Sometimes you got to push the button. Or is it this button? It's that button. I'm connecting to the unsecured network. Okay. So I would want to set this to reverse, and then what we'll do is we'll put this guy back to forward. Spin up power, maximum power, minimum throttle, pulse width. I never adjust any of this stuff. I really don't. After drag brake. Yeah, where is reverse hidden? Does anyone currently have a Hobbywing 3530 in rotation? Both of mine are out right now in the drawer, but the 2200 is going to be going into Colonel Diablo because he can really use the the KVs, like really use the KVs. And the 1700 is bound for, I already forgot who. I'll remember it. Somebody has I want to say they're either on a 1400 and they need a 1700, or they're on an 1800 and they need a 1700. It's one of the yeah, I can't remember. I can only remember the Colonel Diablo. You know, now I have my radio link in my hand. Pulling the trigger, the throttle feels more than the brake. Yeah, like I feel like I would have seen a reverse option. I do like this part though. Do the little. This is why basically the only AM32 that I'm actively recommending all the time is this one. Like the guy from Hyper showed me how to do the adjustment for sine to determine if you have your sine setting at the right spot, and I've already forgotten most of it, but he just uses the slider to give it some throttle, and he has it moving forward, and if it hits something and does the like he turns it up. That's basically what it came down to. Okay, so reverse motor direction, and it's still turn. Oh, it'll do the thing, and then I think okay. No, we're so good so far. What ESC did you pair with the 2200? It's a Rhino. No. It's a Secure 120. Secure 120. I was gonna say Rhino V80, but it's a Secure 120. The other day I was pissed I couldn't find the Secure on Bluetooth, and you're like, wait a minute, Wi-Fi. Yeah. An AM32 is like, so far as I know, it's like the firmware architecture. Escape 32 is what enables us to do all this stuff. Escape 32 is like built more crawler specific. Now, what did I say? Oh, by the way, thank you for the $10. I'm gonna buy a drink with it. 1,000 minimum throttle set point. Okay, so if I were to change that to 750, I set it to 750 and it turned it to 900. Yeah, you can only set minimum throttle set point to 900. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Log into another network. Unplug this. Plug in this. See if we're still rotating the correct direction, which we should be. No, now it's backwards. Now it feels exactly the same. And even though I set it to reverse rotation, it's still reversed. This is why I keep saying so many times, most of the time, I'm running it basically how it comes out of the bag. I strongly prefer. I did set the radio to normal. Oh, it didn't. Reverse motor direction. Yeah. Clicking save at the end, that helps. Save. Done. This is it. This is what, yeah, save. This is what you don't have to see because I usually just don't film it. That sounds different, right? Yeah, I feel like it's mechanically reversed. I feel like it's mechanically. So because when I lowered the reverse or the what was it, throttle off endpoint, whatever it was called. Now it feels slower in forward. What settings do you use for this? I try not to use any, man. I try to just leave it alone. Come on. So, because I'm not typically trying to eke the absolute maximum out of anything, I'm just going to go back to where we were before. Easy stuff. And if there's any luck or spirit of luck in the universe, it will just allow me to go back about my business. So now, yeah, see, I was so much happier. I was so much happier this way. So much happier this way. Because somebody, I had a comment about it. Power cycle to ESC. Okay. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, it's going to be like minimum. It's going to be minimal zip ties on this thing. A little bit of tape, minimal zip ties for right now. People love the tiny bug truck. The bee. It won't stay in my brain. The bee pickup. Yeah, the bee pickup. Today, we're going to opt for the dirtiest. absolute dirtiest method. That is a very short body. 260 millimeter wheelbase. I'm thinking UTB 18 would probably be a good fit for it. I, of course, turned it off before I centered the servo, as one does. Or made sure that it was centered. Or put a horn on it, basically. Just like that. Just like that. Keep the wires out of the other wires. Pardon me, tire. Definitely TTO2 as they were on 257. Yeah, there you go. Who makes the body? Some of the Saitans. Santa Izzy. Santa Izzy. Steven Turner sneaking in with another 10. He hit the YouTube music portal again. Which turns out is a person. I thought the YouTube music portal was just like an entity. It exists. I may have already done a little bit of assembly on the steering, on building myself a horn in the hopes that it lines up. You never know. Stranger things have happened. How do you lock out a steering axle on the rear when you don't have a servo to fill up the spot? Different manufacturers will use different approaches. MST had two little fixed length links that just went to the axle housing. I see what I've done there. I did not estimate how far that was going to go down. We've bottomed out the servo. Jeez. If you want to talk about a servo that would break your finger, this one. I didn't realize I mounted the servo from the back and I should have just mounted the servo from the front. Maybe we can get around it. Jeez, that thing's light. Yikes. On the Element axles, they literally just run a link from the steer point and just bolt it to one of these holes on the truss. You can there's going to be usually what axle is it that you're locking out? What are you locking out? I can try to draw myself a mental picture to see if there's a way to lock that out. I know how FMS does it. I know how Element does it. I thought I was being so clever. I was like, look how tight in that mounts. It did. And it would have in a perfect world. Have you ever seen the Wes-made buckwheat body? Look, I'm trying to take that servo off, and now you're making me Google things. I'm drawing up a legal brief. I'll stick to this, man. Wes-made buckwheat. So the answer is no. Is it this? Focus. If it's that, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that. That body has a little bit of a there's a little bit of Nurgle vibe. Never mind, it's working. I switched to TV, but it doesn't display chat in phone. Oh. Oh, did he say what axle it was? Did I miss it? Stream. Already done. Capra four-wheel steer rear. Oh. Yeah. I would say run a link. There's those two holes. I would build a link that would go to those two holes. It was a bug front truck rear that TGH sold for a while. Who sent that body there? Sputtercrawler? Yes. Sputtercrawler did indeed send that in. You son of a... It's a fun noise. Fun little sound. Posted a pic of the bug truck in Discord. I'll be able to bring that up. No. No. Rig photos? Oh. Okay, this is interesting. This is interesting. Huh. You know what? I don't hate it. I have certainly seen worse. That's not bad at all. And if you're gonna chop a body up, why not? You know, don't just stop cutting up cliffhangers. Right? Just let the cliffhangers be. So maybe we can pretty easily slap that on something. Yeah, look at that. I'm gonna swap out the AR-60s on my Capra cage for Capra. Plastic axles. I got two Canyon trails. Gonna be too big for basically a stock Capra. Yeah. Yeah, they didn't need to cut. They should have stayed right here. It looks like they went all the way to here. They could have stayed right there. It looks like they went at the curve at the chassis, but they could have left. They could have left all of this. How it's got the little flare and the little part around. They could have just left that. So, I agree. Overcut. As soon as I heard sounded a little bit like a jet engine, I was like, what is that? And that was the servo being bound up against the diff cover, and it did not like it, and I would not have liked it either. It's a lot easier to install the servo this way anyway. I went through that hassle of mounting it from the back only to find out that it didn't work. Such is the way. Such is the way of all things. Did I leave that pole up there? It's still up there. And much to my concern and consternation. Sock Shoe is at 10% of 170 votes. So that means, like, if the math is right, that means 17 people. 17 of the people here today do Sock Shoe. This is challenging my whole worldview. Will that chassis like Center Pumpkin? It shouldn't have a problem. Well, you know, anything with yeah, I'll say yes. If I have to fiddle with the skid, so be it. But I mean, this is basically the same gearbox with the motor, and while we don't have a lot of breathing room between the two there, it does clear. This is Center Pumpkin. All of these little mini gearboxes, they would prefer Offset Pumpkin. Okay, all right. We're going in. Neil Daniels, another sock shoe. It's not okay. I'm not endorsing this counterculture crazy behavior. So it would go. What do we, okay, I know that. Okay, so in order to make this clear, what do the British people call? It's trousers. That's what you call pants, because pants is what you call underpants, right? I think we can do like 5 options. I think we can do 5 options. I'm gonna do the most insane one first. And then we'll do the most, what I would think would be the most normal one. Sock shoe. It's sock shoe. I want everyone, like, it's gotta be sock grocery bag shoe. Yeah, walking around here in pants would get you arrested. Like the wife and I had the discussion about, I love how close the poll was there for a second. Socks, then sure, just full Winnie the Pooh in it. Or as we used to call it, Porky Pig in it, which is the shirt with no pants. So Rudy goes socks, underpants, then his shirt, then his pants. Socks, shoes, then pants. Stretching the underwear over the shoes is an image. I want to hold on to that one. Oh my God. Socks, shoes, and pants, that's it. That's right. What do you need all that other stuff for? Oh, so good. Honestly, here's a hot take. I would consider it less aberrant if you put your socks on before your underwear than I would sock shoe. Sock shoe is like the weirdest option to me. Socks and Crocs, that's what my brother-in-law wears. And sometimes my niece will walk by with socks and Crocs on. And I will see them on the cameras outside, and I will swing the door open, and I will yell, "What are those?" And the kid has just an absolute look of horror, and it's worth it every time. It will never get old for me. Look at this. Look at this. Oh. Oh, we're making sandals all year. I was a flip-flop man. Flip-flops or bare feet. I tried. I was at the Columbia store, and if you bought X number of pairs, you got like something for free, basically. And they had a pair of size 14, the slides, like people wear slides. I tried wearing slides without socks, just bare feet in slides. You have to shuffle walk at like a quarter of your normal speed to keep them on your feet. So I sat at my desk, I put a pair of socks on. I slid those slides onto my stockinged feet. I walked into the kitchen. I said, absolutely not. Walked back to my desk, took them off. I haven't worn those things since. I don't trust slides. Socks and sandals is for me indeed a bridge too far. I cannot do it. Yeah, it's flip-flops, or most of the time I'm in these hideous things. Barefoot shoes. Actually, at that angle they look just normal. But they're like the ones that get wider at the front because I've spent so much time barefoot that I have those gaps between my toes. So when I put my feet in normal shoes, I can only wear most normal shoes for a few hours. And I feel like Agador Spartacus. They issue a pair of lookalike Crocs in the county jail here. I can't wear them without flashbacks. I know I have to have mentioned the story about my dentist where she just refused. When she was going through her residency, she was like, everybody was wearing Crocs. And she goes, I still had self-respect. So I said, absolutely not. She said, as far as I'll go is New Balance. And I was like, that's fair. That's fine. That's fair. Okay. Slider. So the only thing this is missing is body mounts, a body, wheels and tires, and then it's RTR. Ooh, I think I just inhaled. I used to give the ex-father-in-law grief for his socks and sandals. He just carried on wearing as he knew it wound us up. Yeah. Clips or clipless? I was I used the Look for mountain bike. I can't even remember what they were called. I didn't like Shimano Road. I didn't really care for like 520s. I didn't care for Shimano M2B. I really liked the Look M2B. I also didn't like Crank Brothers Too Much Float, but I was clipped in. You know, the shoes, carbon fiber shoes with the clippies in them. Well, they're right over here, aren't they? So, one of the most expensive pairs of shoes I've ever owned, Diadora X Vortex Pros. That's the Look clip. Have these been worn a little? These shoes have 35,000 miles on them. And full carbon. I learned pretty quickly that I can't have any flexibility in that or I get hot spots. These are a great pair of shoes. They're also like $400. so $400 pair of shoes. But man, this was from one of the times I laid it down. That's where I slid on the road. It's a well-made shoe. Croc cycling shoes, I bet they exist. I bet there's Clippy Crocs. Yeah, straps are the deadliest. Straps are the deadliest. Anybody who rides strapped is just living way out on the edge. Because you cannot get out of those things. I got big feet, so I have a big lever arm. I can unclip from those shoes instantly. I have pulled 3 body posts out of this drawer, and all 3 of them are different. Do these fit? Or are these the ones? No, those are the ones that are too big. I don't want to have to go through the hullabaloo and the rigmarole of drilling these things out right now. Okay, I am at... I've got 2 of one style and 2 of the other. That'll do for now. Nope, that doesn't fit. That one does. That's how we're going to weed it out. If it fits, it ships. Wait, those are 2 different holes. Yeah, boas. Oh, man. Boas? Those are replacement boas. I got replacement boas from Boa. And it wasn't that hard to rewind them. I thought it was going to be a lot worse. This body post is not the same size as those other 3. But I bet this one is. There we go. Because I need to know. What's everybody's guess? Like what are we at? This is RTR minus body, wheels, tires. Then we'll get a full RTR, but like there is not a lot here. There's not a lot here. Look how good, I'd like to say, look how good I got my pinion angle back there. I had built these up on high clearance, forgetting that they're element axles and that was just going to dangle it was going to go full half mullet. Yeah, the shocks actually, this looks okay. Okay, we got a guess of 10-12. I'm going to say 1185. 3.2 freedoms? I know what that means because I speak freedom unit. I'm going to go 1185 on the grams. I was way off. Sputter Crawler was way closer. 1058. Is that right? That is right. 1,058 grams. What's my favorite solder brand? Kester, the 44. 031, rosin core. SN60 PB40. Made by Kester. This is the 031, the 0.8 millimeter. It took me some nearly 20 years to go through a spool. I bought another spool which would last me another 20 years. Yeah, Mr. Hurley, you said 900, but Sputter Crawler said 1012, and it's 1058. 1058, aka 2.33 pounds. That doesn't... It's zeroed. 2.33 pounds is crazy. I was shooting for 4.5. Did I see the H-Tech VFD back half? Yes, I did. I need one. I will not be opposed at all to drop it. No, I take that back. I need two. Someone in the Discord drop a link to where to buy H-Tech so that I can order two of those things. I need one. I don't mind removing the gender changer on X Mullet or Mullet X or whatever I ended up calling it. And I would love to turn my Zoku FF into a mullet. FF mullet. Oh. 2.33. So let's slap bits. See where we end up. Why'd you grab so many screws? I don't know. What's it to you? Also, I need to source this to you people of the internet. If anyone knows where to find this exact thing, M4 flanged nylock but black in, sticks to a magnet in steel. So steel, nylock, M4 flanged black in a quantity of more than like 5. That's what I'm looking for. Because you can get the silver ones. I ordered directly from H-Tech. I might have to. I haven't even looked. How much is that piece? How much is that? No, trust me, I've checked McMaster. You can get all of those things except, say, black and nylock. You can get nylock but not flanged. Mostly, yeah. Flanged and nylock seems to be exceptionally a specialty. Oh, also, I checked this earlier. Hi-oh. Yeah. Where I ended up setting the skid, I basically confirmed that this was going to be class 1.5. Like, I didn't have any other. Like, I can get aluminum ones. You can get 10 packs of aluminum ones. First flange nylock I've seen. Oh, no. Like every vehicle comes with them. $43.99. Yeah, I'd be all right ordering directly from H-Tech because I'm gonna be spending probably at least $100. That's crazy. Uh-oh. Hold on. I think this is a little too firm. This is a little too, well, on the bench, this is a little too firm, but it's not bad. That's pretty good. Look at that guy go. We're definitely a longer travel. Oh, yeah. Give me a medium here. We getting light yet? No. 120? 120 in the front, 120 in the rear. But the way I set it up with my arbitrary link choices, Amazon does 10 pieces. 30-piece set, AliExpress, $6.54. God, I hate AliExpress, but if you could put a link in like Walt Leitner's, put a Walt Leitner's, and if somebody can do the one to H-Tech as well, that'd be awesome. These are Trial 10 holes. I was browsing through 1.9s and these came up. They were $19.99 for a set of 4. And I was like, yeah, they were half price a while back. I was like, well, I'm just going to get a set of those. So this guy, he might just end up blue. Like, we might go all blue here. Here's our first look. Okay. Oh, I'm sitting on the body post in the back. You know what? Oh, it's on the crossbar. Okay. Okay, I'll tell you this right now. The Comanche here, definitely better approach than departure. We got a pretty good overhang here on the back. I'm probably gonna end up cutting like the bumper off the back, because otherwise, and the way it's sitting, we can go down a little bit. We can go down a little bit. It looks like it'll sit in the sliders. But, I mean, it's so wide, it will just go over the sliders and pop out anyway. But we'd be right about there. I'm either going to need to source shorters for the rear. Yeah, Amazon has an 8-pack for $7. That's crazy. Is he looking for Traxxas 1748s? Please let it be a Traxxas part. No. Those aren't flanged. At least they don't look flanged. No, yeah. I can get 4mm Nylox in 100 bags for a couple bucks. The blue wheels are why I'm suggesting gray gunmetal. Ooh! I had not thought about gunmetal. I have a can of bright gunmetal. Or the gray. Or that Spastics gray. So what we need to do is we'll just do it this way. Because I want to get this thing. Yep. I'm trying to figure out the laziest solution. He said flanged. Okay, so the rear wants to go down. Flanged. So if we go down to the lower hole on her, right in the middle, that will move the body posts away from the back edge there. Shut up, Beavis. Traxxas 8347. Spotlight search? Piss off. Yep, that's exactly what I want. TRA 8347. And because they're Traxxas, they should be like $3 or $4. Yep. They are listed as part number for Fortec. I'm going to tell you, stings a little bit that it's less than 48 hours since I made an order from A-Main. But I wasn't thinking about the lock nuts prior to ordering from A-Main. So I'm not going to die if I don't have them. We're just going to we're going to use silver lock nuts for now because it's what's going to work. So now I'll be able to lower this down. Lower this down. H-Tech needs to make a dig version of that reverse kit. Well, now you're asking for everything. You want all the things. I just think it's fitting that we had to wait for the aftermarket to make a part to fix what Vanquish did. Now, because I took the 2 screws out of the brace, I can swing the brace out of the way. These will be able to go down all the way because we're going to cut them. Although, this would be a better use for very short ones or already cut ones, because these are going to be real short. What is that, 2 that are already cut in the same length? Vanquish will not admit their screw up, so they didn't make a part. That is correct. You could have a short run made with all the attributes you need. Someplace like Barrel Fasteners or other hardware manufacturers. Let's have a short of 1 to 2,000. I'd have to be selling Canyon. I'd have to be selling Canyon lock nuts. Because if they were 5 cents each, Ot6 reverse cut gears would work out cheaper and just Dremel the housing. Yeah, but have you seen, Mr. Greg, have you seen that H-Tech piece? That H-Tech piece is foxy. I just ordered, and it's so my last order from Mias was 9 days. I just ordered from Mias again the 2-speed for VFD because I desperately want to test it. So we're going to get to see how that goes. So we'll find out in about 10 days and change. I just checked earlier today. Amazon has 2 more. They somehow magically got some in stock. I can let's see if I can manipulate the system and make Amazon sell out right now. Well, there were 2 in earlier today. Yep. Oh, now there's 3 in stock. Okay. Yeah, multiple people make reverse rotation transmissions, but I wanted the all Vanquish mullet. This was long before Vanquish decided to bodge their own. So if you want to run a VFD and Vanquish axles, your options are do a little home machining or half-ass it, which is what Vanquish did. So I didn't want to do either of those ways, so I made my little gender changer. So the link that I posted is the receiver-powered Flash Hobby 60 kg, which for some reason is now $43, which is cheaper than what they usually sell the 45 kg for. But the 45 kg is now $41. That also doesn't make any sense. I don't have any. I would never fault Redneck Engineering. I think you could run a bigger overdrive with the H-Tag kit and get near to 18%. Oh. I'm intrigued by the Mias because they're selling it for $100, the 2-speed for VFD. Because honestly, I love Dig, maybe more than most people do. But on a VFD, you could spend $100 just to get a Dig unit from Vanquish, or you could spend $100 and replace the whole back end of the gearbox, gears and everything. And then, what do you still have left over? The whole back end of a VFD. So then my plan will be to get a motor plate and standoffs, just build another VFD. So if you spend $109 at Mias and get the 2-speed, if you spend about another $30 later, you can just build a whole nother VFD. 3 cents each. I just, I need like 100 of them. Like when I was looking for the bins, and there was a seller on Alibaba that had the bins, and they were like, "Yeah, you only need to order like 5,000." Have you seen the newish 11 kg micro from Flash Hobby with no ears but a side tab? No, I have not. What does a servo programmer look like? It looks pretty much like what you would anticipate it to look like. It has USB on one side. It's got a USB on it like that. And then on this end, it has a plug for a Futaba plug, and it has a JST plug for direct powers. And that's it. JST and Futaba, that's it. And you feel like inside of this, there's a board with one tiny little chip on it because it doesn't feel like it weighs anything. I keep it in my drawer of all things programmer. I really, well and truly, genuinely even, I have to buy another one of these magnet setups because I broke one of the magnets almost immediately, and it's a lot easier to do this when you have all 4 magnets. I feel like every time I do this, I'm still just eyeballing it. That's pretty good. I can trim. I didn't trim any out here in the front. I barely popped the magnet. Yeah, that's honestly where it's sitting on the magneto adjusters. That's probably about the height that I'm going to run this to help with departure and to help keep the tires from stuffing fender. These are regular depth trail hubs. I could go to a 6mm hub, pull it in a little bit. I don't even know what we're at now. 235. So it's not exactly crazy wide. How does this look? That looks pretty much straight down the middle right there. Right there. You know what it is? It is definitively close enough. What time does the live stream start? Noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Oh, somebody already said it. Look at that. I want to look up that micro. I have long sort of thought that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have thought that for our applications, micro servos don't really need to be affixed the way they're affixed. You know what? I'm going to mark the front first so that we can have the front set. The front is more important. Still, no matter what, it just feels like eyeball city. This is where you know what I need? Somebody should write this on the whiteboard for me. I need a plastic children's ruler, because what I do is I want to measure to see if they're the same distance apart from like the center rib, and then they tend to stick to the rulers like that. Yeah, see, I don't have it centered right there. It looks centered to me. You know what? We do what we do. Oh, I should have asked Whiteboard RC to write on the whiteboard. Dang it. Why didn't I think of that earlier? Okay, now what I have to check is, as that magnet falls off, so easy to break. Okay, yeah. It's close. It's plenty close. One might say close enough. Not the thickest hood that I have ever put a tapered reamer to. I'll tell you that right now. Camel FCH10 question. Would you ever do a more TRX 4-style 2-speed servo mod to change that thin wire that's fitted? Oy. I have honestly looked at it and thought about a number of different options to change. I don't like the way they did that 2-speed servo at all. It is one of the lesser features of that vehicle as far as I'm concerned. I just don't. I don't explicitly know, without looking at it much more closely, where I would move the servo to. But yeah, a solid linkage would certainly be better than that flangly wire flopping around. That feels like a get us over mod on there. I want to say we're probably right about there. We might be up a hole. We're going to find out. Yeah, these guys have a little bit of flop to them. So hopefully we're closer than we are far. I don't think that's too much to ask. Woodworkered it. Body's putting a little tweak on it and trying to get me to mount the rear end off center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I know what they're doing. Okay? I understand the little grooves. Do they know that we often have to punch holes through these things? Because the spacing on the body mounts is invariably right between. That's not centered. Okay, I got an idea. Make a hole. Pop these off. What am I actually doing? Yeah. Could be plastic, could be aluminum. All my rulers are steel. Steel rules, as they say. Hey, look at that. Mr. Penn should fit in here, and he does. We can draw a line. Okay, now if I look at this, it is 135 millimeters. 65, right? So 65 is right in the middle. That can't be right. It's not. I feel like 67 and change, right? So like right there. No, that's 70. Oh yeah, no. No, this is not symmetrical at all. Like the middle rib is sort of in the middle. So if we do 105, which is indeed right there. Also, the Biddy Design pen, if you leave it uncapped for any amount of time, dries up. You gotta go sponge it on something to get it to working again. What is that Bruck body? Truck? Oh, the bug truck, Bruck. Got it. Boy, everybody wants one of those. You can make it look like this. You can do that with it. So that's the thing. Santa Izzy. Santa Izzy. We're gonna go our own route. Go your own way. Go your own way. Oh, I thought the hood was thin. However long Proline has or had been doing the Comanche, it is definitely the older. It's definitely the older jam because this is thin in spots. Got it with the 5. Keeping it alive. I think I got it. What does he think? He thinks he's got it. Is he right? Probably not. According to the internet, never. He's never been right even on accident. That's just not possible. I mean, statistically, just based on simple statistics, I have to have gotten it right at least once. Right? Just by chance. How is it so light? Well, I had said foolishly, I was like, well, we'll probably get close to the lightness of Rainbird. But Rainbird has a nearly solid brass front axle, and this guy definitely does not have that. So we're not using any manner of lightweight fasteners, none of that. I genuinely lost the 850 there for a minute. Yeah. I nudged it a little forward because I didn't want this tire mashing in. So I wanted that. So because of that, I'm going to have to trim the fender out a little or redo all four rear links and move the wheelbase forward, because I should be 313. I should be 313. I am dead 313. And as you can see or not, a little long. Wants it like, and I mean, look at the front. Right up. Boom. So I'd have to go down to 308, or just trim it. Just trim it. 308 or trim it. That's so crazy that, like, 313, that is dead centered in the front. And it's 5 millimeters too long. Corduroy guy says trim it. Judson says trim it. I like trim it. And the bumper thing feels almost inevitable, because here's what I was looking at. If we eyeball it up, if we look at that battery's not affixed in any way. If we look at it from the front, where did I put him? I got a buddy here. This bumper is like, so imagine it. Don't use your imagination. Let me use tools. So if I cut the bumper off the body and run that bumper, it's like, it's the exact width. Look at this guy. Look at that guy. That tire is dead center. This tire is not dead center. Okay, there's a question mark. What? You see it's drooping further on that side than that side. But it's the same shock. Is it my brain? It's my brain. It's the body did that. I don't know. 308, don't trim. Mr. Hurley, these wheels are not purple. These wheels are like royal blue. They're extremely blue. Very blue. No purple. Yeah, see, because of the position of the lower link, I can leave the body hanging down below the slider. It does sit good. That sits good. And I think if we... Would it look weird? I don't know. I'm sitting here going, it's 5 millimeters. Those wheels are blue AF. Oh, man. Blue wheels, yellow body. I'm kind of about it. Here's the thing. That's a 100 link. So if I just swap those to 95s, we should go exactly 5 millimeters forward. And then, middle guy. And then the uppers are 90s. If I've got 285s and 295s, I'm just going to do it. Well, here's a pre-built element upper. Is it shorter? Is it 5 millimeters shorter? Dang it, it is. And what did I say for the rear? Lowers 95? Dang it, Crushinator! You'll never guess who makes a 95 lower. It's Element. Does anyone have an affiliate link for that little baby ruler? They come in a set. You have to take them all. And they're crazy expensive. You will be blown away at the cost. You'll be like, "Oh my God, I'm not buying that." That guy is certainly a madman for spending that kind of money. For those who aren't going to click through the link, the 4-pack of Mr. Pens, which I servo taped one to the top of the link bin so I can just lay them on the ruler, because I have a 300 here. I have a 12-inch ruler. I got a Mitutoyo for that. $7.99 for the 4-pack, which is a 150, a 200, I want to say a 250, or no, a 300 and a 350. $7.99. Mr. Penn fixed the stomp shear yet? They look pretty squared. I mean, as long as you don't compare it to something where somebody really, as long as you don't compare it to something that costs significantly more, you're doing fine. Yeah, crazy money, $7.99. Who would do that? And then you get yourself a Victor, and then you scour all the cork off the back. And Victor is the one that gets used the most, because no matter what your wheelbase is, if your wheelbase is over this, you're doing some stuff. I had forgotten that one of the recent builds, I used Element rod ends. I have blown through nearly all of the Element rod ends that I bought from the tower thing. I've gone through so many. I've started going easy on myself. I've got the M4 Speedy Tap, and I go probably 8 millimeters in. If you go all the way, it will make the link fit too sloppy. So I just get them started. You can buy 2 of the 6-inch for $5.95. I have metal rulers and don't even know where I got them. Yeah, all I had, the only thing that I had here was these. The rulers stolen out of combination squares, which, I mean, are great. They're nice and thick, heavy, very steel. It's got metric on it, 305 millimeters, because it's a 1 foot plus a little bit ruler. So I would either use that one, or I would disconnect my Starrett and use my Starrett. But Starrett is very America. It's got eighths, 16ths, 32nds, and 64ths. We ain't got no time or tolerance for none of them metric units. And it's gotten to the point now where even my table saw has got a combo tape on it that has metric and standard. I just steal the ones out of my wife's craft stuff and blame the kids. That's kind of probably the best way to do it. I don't have anybody to steal rulers from. Yes, metal rulers also start at 0 on edge. 0 on edge is very important for the stuff that we're doing. And I'm still using that 4 millimeter Allen wrench because it's the perfect link spinner. Did I adjust the input, endpoints, midpoint, and deadband? Absolutely not. I have a wicked metal straight edge from Dad when he was a draftsman. Yeah, I bet it is. Every once in a while, you treat yourself. You get the little bit of a nicer thing. Like my combo square is a Starrett. And after I had lost center punch number infinity, I told myself the only way I'm going to keep track of them is to buy a good one. So I bought a Starrett number 18A. It's so good. It's so good. And then I made a hole in where my RC tools are so that it doesn't go wandering off. Because I was using Harbor Freight center punches exclusively. I miss those triangle rulers that have all the things on it. I loved those as a kid. Fortunately for me, or fortunately, I don't know, I am going to have to disassemble the rears. So, we can't weigh it. We can't weigh it because we're taking 20 millimeters of 5 millimeter rod off, and just think of the grams that we're removing. It's so light. It's so light. The lightweight always guy is over the moon right now. Because I think the heaviest individual component of this is the body. When will this one do the ghost thing? It will get bumped onto the schedule. And honestly, because hopefully it will be effectively finished. Like if I just grab another scorpion strap, I should be able to just throw a battery strap on, run the 850 on the side. I should be able to ghost ride it tomorrow. Then the only question is, when do I slot it into the schedule? Because Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are already uploaded. I'm going to have to, well, not Wednesday. I haven't shot Wednesday yet, but Wednesday's kind of reserved. I'm going to have to get this guy in where he fits in. I'll probably bump Thursday to Saturday and have this guy up on Thursday because Monday and Tuesday are already up. And I'm burning the candles, man. I am torching it, and I cannot keep... This is a non-sustainable level of intensity. At least that's how I feel right now in this moment. So, against my own better judgment, I had 2 doubles last week. And, I can't be doing doubles. I can't keep doing doubles. Why didn't I just take the other tire off? You knew you were going to have to take it off. Because I haven't looked. Nope. Yeah. It's 3:15. I was like, I feel like it's after 3 o'clock. I'm surprised you just don't use dual lock. Okay. I was just talking, a gentleman came and visited and drove in the canyon yesterday, and I was talking about how there's a number of rigs where I just use Velcro to attach the battery. I don't like it. I like Velcro on the pack, Velcro on the skid, and a strap over it. I like belt and suspenders because I have knocked the battery out of a rig too many times. And the fortunate part of it is it has never yet ended in utter catastrophe, but I keep waiting for it to. Like that battery's going to come loose, go straight into some twirly bits, and end in a conflagration. Are you doing this unsustainability for yourself or for us? Let's split it right down the middle, 50-50. Because if I'm going to do videos like this whole upcoming week, this upcoming week is Origin Classic week. What it was scheduled for is Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday is the series of doing the origin. But now we're gonna move it around. I'm gonna move it around because I want to run this thing. I want to see this thing go. Or I just burn it and I put a video on Friday or a double. I don't want to do either of those things. I'm trying to exercise better judgment here. It's not working. Just gonna sit here thinking the whole time, how am I going to fit an extra video in during that week? I don't know. Well, that's exactly what I've done with the origin. It's broken into 3 pieces. Part 1, part 2, and then the quick view. Part 1 and part 2 are already up and scheduled Sunday and Tuesday. So somebody stepped away for 5 minutes and was like, "What happened?" I couldn't do it. I'm going to be cutting the bumpers, but I don't want to cut the fenders. So if we're going to do that, we might as well. I had the links. We might as well shorten them. Dual lock. Yeah, all right. So here's the thing. I've got batteries and trays with dual lock on them. I can still knock a battery off of it. I mean, I can dual lock this, and at the whole time, I'll be like, I'm gonna knock that battery out. I call it corrosion of confidence, where a given thing, only has so many times it can fail. And then you can never trust that thing again. Who let the dual lock West Coast sales reps in the chat, right? They're like, you know what? All you need, brother. Do you know what you need, brother? Dual lock. Just get some dual lock. Dual lock is this like very aggressive Velcro. Like the ends of them look like little buttons almost. Like it's supposed to hold X number of greater pounds. Regular Velcro. We're just gonna fudge. Yep, close a damn enough. Looks pretty good to me. Chime be chiming. Do it. Also, this change now means that 3/4 of the links on here are element. Not that that affects anything. It's got Vanquish titanium uppers in the front. Yeah, that is the thing about Velcro. Every time you use it is one less time you can use it. I would love to see Mr. C get a hold of the Yikong big one that Red Cat copied. Oh, the 4061? If I had had the money at the time, I should have ordered one. When they first popped up on AliExpress, and they were selling them over there for like $500. That was before the tariff times, wasn't it? It feels like that was before the tariff times. I mean, here's the thing. This is barely Link Olympics. Because I'm literally just making every link 5mm shorter. I already went through the Link Olympics, setting a pumpkin angle and everything. I've been wondering about doing Velcro to help hold my 3S 1400 and my Fordyce because I still have the stop battery tray and it's too small for the Velcro straps. Yeah. Does Velcro and dual lock mix? I don't know. I should have, I don't think I've ever tried that. Maybe? Somebody who's a frequent user of dual lock should know. What's even funnier is when I built the interior, the what do you call it? Engine compartment. When I did the engine compartment in Sheila, it's so tight that battery has no. The only method of physical retention for that battery is the hood. The hood is what holds that battery in place. I just set the battery in there, and it doesn't move. It can't. Once the hood is closed, there's no room for the battery to go anywhere. So the wife hasn't crashed it sufficiently that the hood has flown open, because if she ever does, the battery will fly out. Dual lock, basically both sides look the same. It's like double hook. Okay, now this pinion angle should not have changed. That's not going to work, because what he's done is he's accidentally put in the longer one that goes into a shock. And now he can't reach it because he noticed it too late. Now he's got to press one in with his thumb. It's gonna suck. Yikes. I was like, that didn't feel right at all. I used to have bigger batteries, but when I switched to the interior 660, gave the other batteries to my nephew. He started using smaller packs. Yeah. I hate Velcro. It's ruined so many of my cycling clothes. Oh. You get that where it just like pills up a sleeve? Oh. I know that pain. Yeah, Velcro is great until it betrays you. All right, we're going to get to find out. Did he do it? Tiny little baby non-link Olympics, because we knew exactly where we needed to go. I'm dropping stuff. We got to get this on a scale. We got to make it go back and forth. Oh, the wife has a 4 o'clock meeting, so we don't got to kill it straight at 3:30. I just try to moderate like how long I go, you know. I'll stay out here too long. I've been out here since, aside from going in the house to eat lunch, I've been out here since 7 this morning. So we'll belt and suspender it. What would make a great, that Velcro comment would make a great t-shirt or bumper sticker. What was it? Yeah, I like a battery strap. I especially like the Scorpion ones. The Scorpion ones are some of my favorites because they have the little like little rubbery layer on them. So whatever they're holding has that little rubbery back pressing against them. Like I would still put a strap around this. To the Great Lakes Gauntlet. Ooh, that's far. I don't like that at all. The Great Lakes. I've been to Chicago once. I went to Chicago one time. It was over 30 years ago. Been there. No, I've been to Chicago twice. What am I talking about? I was in Chicago in 1985. I saw Weird Science in a movie theater in Chicago. Okay. Oh. It's almost like I don't want to find out. Hey-oh! Hup-hup! Hey-oh! Every once in a while, the plan will make itself come together. By gum, by golly, by gosh. Still gonna have to trim it a little bit, I think. It looks like we're not quite there. But we are certainly closer. Oh no, we're there. Are we there? I'd say we're there. How much travel is limited? We are limited to about half of our available travel with the body at that height. Oh, look at that. Element shocks, man. You ready? The settle. The settle. We've done it. We've done it. Are we gonna, is that body gonna get hemmed? Yeah. It's gonna have to. I don't think, oh my God, the whole bench is covered with bins that I have taken out and not put away. We just put like 8 bins away. Then we gotta put this bin, this one. How does it get out of hand so fast? I don't know. So what did somebody say? 1650 was their guess? Element, VRD, pretty darn skid forward. We're a little bit less skid forward than we were a moment ago because we had to tuck it in. Front lower 105, rear lower 140. This 35 millimeters is separation. It's pretty good. Yeah, you know what? That sits solidly okay. If I was going to do one thing between now and putting it on a rock, I would actually dial these rear uppers out a little bit, turn the pumpkin even more, because the drive shaft is just about parallel with the lower links. But if anything, we should have slightly improved breakover. A hair over a foot. Yeah, it's 308. It's 308. We took 5 off of a 313. By gum, it's a 308. So the over-under, come on, you son of a bitch. The over-under is on 1650. Are we going to be over or are we going to be under? RTR 850 installed. Way over. Way over. 1950. 1950. Which is 4.3 pounds. How much of that is this? So we're at 1950, which is 4.300 pounds. 1950, 1818, which is 4 pounds dead. So the body is what is the 0.3 pounds. And then if we take out the other non-negotiable piece, 1731. So the full roller minus body and battery, 3.82 pounds. So 4.3 pounds. Let's look at it this way. Here's how I'm going to choose to look at it. Full fendered, full body, RTR, 4.3 pounds. Still, the lightest thing here by a good ways. The rears are built with aluminum rings, and the fronts have the steels, because there's no weight. There's no front weight. Like, there's no added weight at all. I have to assume, well, like, this will add a few grams if we cut the Lexan bumper and put this guy on. A little bit of weight out front, I'm absolutely not mad about. So, I can satisfy my own curiosity. Tear. Jeez. Thing was brawly today. Rear. 139. That is dual stage insert. Class 1 G8 trencher. Trial on aluminum ring. 139. 278 for the rear pair. Front is 191. So 380 for the front. So we got 100 grams. We got 100 grams up front, and 100 grams up front on a rig that weighs 1950 is by gum is a reasonable amount. Yeah, I've got the light ones in there. My base camp is at 3450. Yeah, I bought 2 packages of the aluminum rings, and I've already used one of the packages. But I can't imagine any rig that I would put all 4 on, even with stuff like silicones, because I'll take the free 100 grams in the front. I mean, I know that I say some rigs drive heavy, some rigs drive light. Like, Bruce is very heavy and doesn't drive as heavy as he is. He feels more nimble than 16 pounds, right? He feels more along the lines of driving that, like, 8-9 pound. Yeah, the tire is... We got the drive tuck on there. Is it all the way? Yeah, that's full compressed. So I think maybe I can probably just clean up the fender edges and I won't have to cut them that much. Yeah, the front was full tuck in as well, and that is full collapse. Oh. The drag length the drag length though is way off. Yeah, that's off. I can't trim that amount out. That's past trimmable. I don't know if I can even shorten it enough. That is why we use turnbuckles, though. Oh, maybe. I keep my eye out for plastic whitening. No, we all right. Incomplete thought. I talk about rigs that drive heavy, drive light, feel light. I can feel how light this is. Is the camera, like, is the frame rate doing it where when this thing goes full bore, you can watch it? Yeah, when I goose it in forward, the rear end hops off the ground. It's 4.3 pounds. Crawler Canyon Class 1.5. We've basically stripped it down as far. I can't believe the greens are basically just right all the way around. The rear shocks are not quite at probably a 40-degree angle, but the fronts are at about a 10, between 10 and 15 degrees, and it looks just about right. It looks just about right. I just got to clean up the fenders, maybe dial out those rears. I mean, like, that's great. We're good. We're not even touching. That's less good. That overhang in the back. Yeah, for the back of the tire, it's 55 millimeters. Meanwhile, in the front, 10. I'm probably just going to end up chopping it right here at the bottom of the tailgate. Because the tailgate is actually still below the chassis rails. It's still below the rails. I looked around for a bumper or a mount or just something to help stabilize the body out towards the back, and I don't have it. Like, we're far. We're real far. Was 313, now 308. 308 might need the pre-runner cut. Yeah. We need the 308 because damn if this body ain't 308. I think they wanted you to run bounty hunters or something on here. Yeah, it does have a booty. So I will ponder over just removing the bumper at this line and put it, well, now that I see, maybe not. I didn't realize how far the front sat down. I'd have to put a drop mount. Now, just ruled it out. I didn't realize that thing was going to come up so high. The bumper mounts are in the middle of the grill. We definitely didn't slam the body. The body is sitting at a good spot. Sits down nice. You know what I got right now? I got no complaints. I think we did A-okay. I got links to take apart. I got stuff to put away. I got to thank y'all for dropping by, man. Thanks for hanging out for a while here on a lovely Friday. There's a video in 20 minutes. The motor dyno video. If you're not doing anything else, if you don't have any other pressing engagements, check that one out. If you do, check it out at your leisure. Could make a drop plate, yeah, but then that's gonna weigh. That's weight. I'm thinking about cutting the windows out. Like, if you're gonna go lightweight, you got to go lightweight, right? It's so light. We're in 10 scale, especially with something with a full body. We're not building anything this light again. This is as skeletoned out as we go. And the whole time, that lifelong basher and cyclist part of me that lives inside knows that for, $100, we could probably get it down to 4 pounds. You start replacing all these steel fasteners with titanium, that kind of nonsense. We ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna embrace that. Yeah, lightweight once. Lightweight once is the way of the day. I'm not kidding. I know it doesn't translate through the camera, but Bruce is 4 of these. Yeah, he is. Oh, not aluminum. I have sheared off so many aluminum fasteners in my day. Oh my God. I went through the whole factory team phase of the aluminum factory team, blue aluminum. I swear to God, don't make me go inside and go on the internet and look up blue aluminum fasteners, because, give me some M3x8 aluminum. I would need 2, 4, 6, 8, 16 of those. That would take off quarter of an ounce, third of an ounce. See? Slippery. No. When I mean shear them off, I mean like you go off the rock and you go like this, you land, bow, and it just, whink, just takes the heads right off. Yeah. All right. I'm going to see you when I see you. I'll be on the Discord tonight. What am I talking about? Hey, let's turn that off. There he is. There he is. Man, yellow or gold body? I'm thinking about it. With the blue and gold? Might have to do the blue and gold. I will see y'all. I'm going to turn the things off. This week, you know what I did last week? Oh no, not in a crawler. I've never put an aluminum fastener in a crawler. So if I'm going to do it, this might be the guy to put aluminum fasteners on. I had them on think RC10 T3, just shearing fasteners off. So I look forward to seeing y'all. Oh, I have to assume the Spaniard fell asleep hours ago. Back to, there we go. And after I do this, I'm going to go right down on the whiteboard that I need to do the ghost on that. And then I'm going to leave it right here on the bench, so I really won't forget. Thanks so much, everybody. We're going to do it. Susan in pretty good form today. Pretty good form today. I was going to mention last week, I did indeed remember the important turn off the mic. I remember that. You know what I didn't do? I didn't turn off the camera. The camera was on for a full day because last week I was in Long Beach on Saturday for the anime thing. I didn't notice that this was on until Monday. I left the camera on for 60 hours straight. Quality equipment. Do your one and all, do your very best. Have a good one, everybody. I'll see you in the next one. I'm going to go get a coffee drink right about now.